Hello, my name is Zola. Today I am presenting my research proposal titled Global Platform Dominance and Indonesia's Data Sovereignty, a economy study on the effectiveness of the Personal Data Protection Law. Now, Indonesia has hundreds of millions of internet users, generating an unimaginable amount of data every single second. But who controls this data? Most of it is extracted and processed by multinational tech companies like Google, Meta, and TikTok, operating far beyond Indonesia's legal reach. This isn't just a business issue. It is a question of structural power and national sovereignty. This brings us to the background of my research. Indonesia is a massive digital market, but we are suffering from heavy structural dependency on foreign technology infrastructure. To respond to this, the government passed UU PDP in 2022. While this is a huge step forward, my research identifies a major problem. The implementation is facing severe structural obstacles. First, there is a lack of digital literacy and weak supervision. Second, and most importantly, we currently lack a strong, independent supervisory institution, something similar to KPPU in business competition. This creates a massive resource imbalance, making the law incredibly difficult to enforce against giant foreign platforms. Because of these problems, this proposal asks three main research questions. How effective is the implementation of UU PDP 2022 as an instrument of data sovereignty against big tech dominance? What are the primary institutional and structural obstacles in enforcing UU PDP on transnational platforms? 3. How can Indonesia learn from regulatory experiences of Australia, the EU, and China? Our objectives align directly with these questions: to analyze the law's effectiveness, identify the jurisdictional hurdles, and formulate strategic recommendations based on cross-national comparisons. In reviewing the literature, we see the other countries adapt their strategies based on their capacity. For example, Australia successfully forced platforms to pay local media through its media bargaining code, while the EU uses the GDPR, and China relies on an entirely domestic app ecosystem. However, when looking at existing research on Indonesia's UU PDP, I found a significant gap. Most current studies treat UU PDP merely as a standalone legal document. They miss the bigger picture. There is a lack of post-passage evaluation that combines legal, institutional, and political economy frameworks. My research fills this gap by viewing the law not just as a text but as an arena of state market power struggle. To read this power struggle, I am using two main theoretical lenses. First, Cernicek's platform capitalism, which explains how big tech gains structural dominance through data collection and network effects. Second, Shoshana Zuboff's surveillance capitalism. Zuboff highlights that commodifying user behavior is big tech's core business model, meaning standard privacy rules aren't enough to stop them. I combine these with the core concepts of digital sovereignty, the idea that sovereignty requires controlling data flows, not just physical land, and structural dependency. For the methodology, the study uses a qualitative approach with a normative empirical legal method. I am not just looking at the laws on paper, I am looking at how they work or fail to work in practice against foreign platforms. My data sources include UU number 27, 2022, government documents and platform privacy policies. I will use descriptive analytical techniques to group findings by theme and compare Indonesia's reality with the regulatory approaches of Australia, the EU, and China. To ensure this research is viable, I have structured a rational 5-month timeline. Month 1 and 2 focus on gathering data on UU-PDP cases and analyzing foreign comparative models. Month 3 is for synthesizing our political economic theories. Month 4 is dedicated to drafting the first 3 chapters, and month 5 is reserved for finalizing result, conclusions, and proofreading. The thesis will follow a systematic 5-chapter structure: introduction, literature, methodology, result and discussion, conclusion, and recommendations. Ultimately, UU-PDP is a critical test for Indonesia. Can a developing state enforce digital sovereignty against global platform dominance? This research will provide the political economic analysis needed to answer that. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.